but totally they are forgotten. Now they are, after Japan disaster only are opening eyes. Before that, were indications being staying in Bihar, what indications you are going to give to the central government, to the state government? Through state government recommendations.
Which earthquake are you like talking about? Pusa, is it?
It was in Pusa, it was happened. After that, Pusa campus shifted here.
Which year was that?
34.
34, okay.
I'm aware of this 1934 earthquake, you see. And in fact, that was in whole of North India was affected. And you see this border with Nepal, and North Bihar was affected very severely. Munger was a town which is very prominent in terms of destruction, etc. Recently, I was investigating, you see, because in the Bihar Divas, you must have heard, Bihar completed 99 years of its completion, and now we are into the 100th year. And that day was commemorated with 3-day kind of a celebration or events, all over the state. So I had personally gone to Munger to investigate about 1934 earthquake, so that with those materials one can again refresh what you were saying, the memory of the people, as to how vulnerable Bihar is to this. And in fact, one interesting thing which I came across in one of the public libraries, I found a book, you see, which had photographs, maybe more than 2 dozen photographs taken by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, you see. And the preface of the book was by none other than Dr. Rajendra Prasad, you see, first president of India. He had written as to how Nehru had come, twice on the second visit for 10, 12 days, you see. Devoted a lot of time, went around his accounts, etc., etc. It's not that we have forgotten, you see. But Bihar, you see, after 34, another earthquake of some significance was 1988, you see. Almost 50 years later, you see. Now, once again, there is a 50-year or 100-year statistically return period, probabilistic kind of a period. We are sort of entering into that zone. You see, there is need to, because flood is a recurrent and yearly kind of a thing. That is why that is uppermost in the minds of the people, you see. But it's not that earthquake is forgotten. As I said, there is a heightened sensitivity now, you see, and which is in a way good, you see, in terms of undertaking some new steps, you see, or renewing the steps for preparedness, response, etc. As far as message to the government of India is concerned, you see, we are working with government of India. I mean, only yesterday the working group for 12th 5-year plan, you see, has been set up. The first meeting was held. I am a member. I have been also asked to chair one of the subgroups on capacity building, you see. So I think we are working with government of India, and my messages to government of India are very clear. One is, while we continue with S&T investigations, inputs, all those things as I mentioned, with its zonation, microzonation, mapping exercises, etc., study of typology of buildings, the capacity building of the education institutions, especially engineering institutions, etc., you see. But at the same time, I think we need to begin with a massive exercise on public campaign, public awareness, you see. That is one thing. And Ravi, I'll just take this opportunity to mention one point about the corporates, which I sort of missed, in the earlier presentation. As far as the corporates are concerned, I mentioned this because I suppose most of the corporates are present here, you see, in the audience. I suppose the preparedness amongst the corporates is very dismal. And I only invite your attention to the latest May 1 issue of Business Today, which I carried yesterday from the aircraft, you see, because I found it's very good. Otherwise, normally it's not good to carry. The title, the cover page is "Are we disaster ready?" You see, and they have discussed about how corporates have been affected. Our colleagues in GFDR, we had done a study for government of Japan about Bhuj earthquake. We have detailed data as to how corporates got affected in Gujarat earthquake, refinery, fertilizer, cement industry, salt industry, handicrafts, and what not, you see. Tourism, you see, they all got affected severely. There are detailed data available. Even the Reliance refinery in Jamnagar had no disaster management plan, you see. Let me mention another example. Mumbai floods, 5/26 July, I used to be working then in Mumbai, you see. And for 1 week, Mumbai was paralyzed. Full 1 week, you see. No name. We have the top names, corporate names located in Mumbai. There was no name was an exception in terms of being able to cope or those who were ready to face it. 1 week total shutdown, you see. But what are the lessons? I'm afraid there are no lessons. Mumbai house, you see, the Bombay house, you know, the fire took place just about a month back, in which a small employee, you know, sort of, they were killed, you see, in the fire. Because the fire stations, these fire tenders could not reach the building and could not reach those points of the building where the fire had taken place. And that building, you know, Ratan Tata is located, and at least 65 or 95 of their flagship global companies, their heads are located over there, you see. Now, if that is the situation with a company like that, which has just recently faced 26/11, then, you know, one really shudders to think, you see. So I think one strong message to the corporates is that kindly get out of the media mode and the charity mode, you see. I'm sorry to say, but that's the way I put the response and the participation of the corporates, you see. There is a media and charity, I hope you all explain, I don't want to. I think there is need to get into disaster risk reduction, you see, and preparedness for your own sake, BCPs, BCMs, your own chain, supply chain managements, etc., and also whatever you can do along with the community, you see, for which you work, you see. I know that, you know, somebody, the father of IT, Mr. Kohli, FC Kohli, had once said, I had shared a dais with him, he said, look, Anil, the business of business is to do business, you see. Don't talk of CSR as something else. CSR is nothing else but business. I said, fine, sir. Business of business is business, but then BCP and BCM is also business, nothing else, you see. Your own data security, your own, you know, wherever, how do you respond, and the whole case of Morgan Stanley, kindly go through that, you see, is a case in point in BCM, BCP, you see. Thank you.
Raviji, may I take?
Short questions.
Yeah, just very short. Basically, what I wanted to add.
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Kamal Sahi from GFDR, Global Forum for Disaster Reduction. As Mr. Sinha mentioned about our organization, what I wanted to say already, Mr. Sinha said just now about the Tata Sons episode. What I would like to share a thought with you, sir, is that you are speaking about the corporate and also spreading the awareness creation among the community. I mean, something which is already existing like e-Chopal by ITC in, I think, 2 or 3 states in a very large scale. Can the concerned authorities tie up with corporates like that and spread this awareness program? Thank you.